Good morning, everybody. Hope you enjoyed Thanksgiving. I know I had my last Thanksgiving meal last night. It was my final meal on overstock, obviously not leftovers. Pretty much a tradition around here. We always make the same Thanksgiving dinner. So it's time to start fresh. And because we've been eating Thanksgiving food, we don't have a ton of stuff on hand, so we're going to change things up a little bit today. We're going to have an omelet, and we're also going to have a nice little Farro stir fry. I've got my Farro cooking over here. If you want to take a quick look at this a little closer, you'll always notice Farro is a bit of a funny grain because it requires different cooking times for different mediums, whether you're doing a slow cooker, on the stove, or in a rice cooker. So pretty much I always put in too much water and cook it till it's tender. In this case, I set the rice cooker for brown rice, which is 60 minutes. And you'll notice it's still a little soupy, but it's fully cooked, and we'll just drain it before we serve it. I love Farro because it's a nice whole grain. It's got a wonderful, rich, nutty flavor and texture. Still nice and soft, but you know, it's been around for a few thousand years, so why not? Okay, so to make things interesting, we're going to do that in sort of a American stir fry. So I got my classic vegetables here. I've got carrots, onions, celery. Carrots already been washed, and because of course we want to cook quick, we're cutting everything up small. So I'm just going to take that carrot, cut it into nice thin slices, turn those slices into sticks to get them nice and thin. Carrots are a root vegetable, as you know, and they take a little time to cook. And then just with a little bit of an angle to make them cute, I'm going to cut them as thin as I possibly can, and that's going to help them cook quick. They're going to go in the pan first. The pan's already getting hot because they do take longer to cook than the onions and the celery. Carrots, onion, celery being a classic combination. So classic, it's got a name. Mirepoix. M-I-R-E-P-O-I-X. You'll see it in a lot of different soups, stocks, stews, etc. Today we're using a little avocado oil. So I'm going to slide that right in there and get those carrots a head start on saute. And now we'll get after the celery. So I always cut my vegetables long ways first, and I always cut them shorter than the knife so I can just get that one nice forward push rather than any kind of a weird sawing motion or generally pulling the knife towards me. So there's a nice mince on the celery. And then a chunk of onion. It looks like about the right amount today. There we go. Peel off. Pretty much almost always take 2 layers of peel off the onion. Just makes my life a little easier. Almost always have to take 2 layers off anyway. Get down there, you. And again, minced onions. Everything's small today, or in a sense, all the vegetables same size as the Farro, just to have a nice harmonious blend. And I've got a little end of a zucchini left, so that's going to go in too. And once again, everything's small dice today. Now for our omelet, we're having ham, cheese, and mushroom omelets. Why? Because I've already got some sliced mushrooms. Happen to have some ham that we were using some of for Thanksgiving. Had a couple of the dishes. And our usual goat cheese. So, mushrooms already sliced. I think we'll just throw in a little one of these sweet peppers too. I love these guys. They're small, they're sweet, they're not spicy. So they make a nice little addition to everything. Get my rainbow colors going. And you don't even have to worry about only using part of one. You can just use it all up. So, I need some ham. I've got a big chunk of ham. Guess where I got it? Don't even say it. It's the C word around here. Yes, Costco. And we're just going to take about 3 slices of that off. For our omelet. today. Omelets. Got some spinach that we'll throw in, and my cheese. Now, you don't necessarily have to grate your cheese if you've got some good knife skills. So this is a nice goat Gouda, one of my favorites, and I'm just going to cut it up small, like everything else, so it'll melt in the omelet. So again, a certain amount. As you see, I have stock in Ziploc bag companies because I've always got my food stored in Ziploc bags for the next meal. Oh, Jody's wanted in surgery. Sorry, we're gonna have to go. I think it's a emergency appendectomy. Once again, no need for a cheese grater. You've got the knife skills working for you. Okay. So, carrots have been cooking. My ever-loving bench scraper. And now we're going to get this really going. So we got our diced veggies. And they're going to cook pretty quick. And you've got that rainbow. Salt. Turmeric, of course. I'm almost out. I just bought a new jar. Only after 2. This one's lasted about 3 months. And black pepper. We were popular this morning. You hear our cell phones going off. Being popular in the holidays is a good thing. Yeah. And there we go. That's just going to take about 2-3 more minutes at the most to get down. Of course, we'll add the farro, we'll add the spinach. So, that gives me a chance to finish up my ham. Gonna make some pretty much fatty omelets today, best kind. And I'm going to take my sliced mushrooms, I sliced a couple days ago, and just cut them a little bit smaller. And these are going to go right into the omelet pan right now to heat up. I'm going to get those hot. While everything is else heating up, that's my cue to tidy up a little bit. Now, I have a very particular way of making omelets, born after years of doing it over and over again. Omelet bars, both here and in Southern California. So, I certainly hope you like my method. First, we want to get our mushrooms sauteed. I could have put the mushrooms in with the other vegetables, but I just thought it'd be fun to have them in the omelets. It's a sort of an either-or thing. I'm a little generous with the oil because the mushrooms like to drink it up. There we go. These guys are almost done. So the best way to know is to eat a carrot. Yep, tender carrots. So, that means it's time to turn that down, use up the last of the spinach, and that will, we've got the hot farro, we'll add with a slotted spoon to drain it as it goes in. And I think I just changed my mind. That never happens, does it? We'll go ahead and get the mushrooms cooked. And in the meantime, these are 2 egg omelets, pretty much a standard size. So what I want to do right now, of course, is get those eggs beaten up a little bit. Now, whenever I beat the eggs, normally use a fork. Of course, we need forks for eating. Usually a pinch of salt. And today I'm going to put in just a little Tabasco into those eggs, just to give them a little pop. Which just made my videographer purr. That's good, always a good thing. I don't want to overbeat them. I want to pretty much just break up the whites pretty well so I can hardly see them. About just like that. Now, towel down. Finish wilting the spinach. More rainbow effect with the green spinach. That's all the way down to a very low simmer. And then I can add the farro to that. And that's about enough for both of us. Again, it's just like fried rice. Stir-fried farro. All we need is soy sauce, right, and hoisin. But today, got a nice seasoning in there. I'm gonna let that go. And that's just gonna stay nice and warm while we finish up over here. So, just getting those mushrooms nice and soft, showing off how well I can flip stuff. And they're just soft mushrooms. So, these are gonna come out. And since I don't want to dirty anything else, I'm going to put them in there. And here we go. First, a little bit generous on the butter. Pan's hot. And I want to get that butter melted and bubbly. There we go. Come on. Hands at about medium-high. It's a good spot for it. And here's the art of making an omelet Dan style. The eggs go in. While that's it, I'm just going to get ready with the next one. Because I want one too. We're not doing this just to feed Jody. Which she's very surprised to hear. So, you see the eggs starting, so I'm going to lift them. I'm going to push the cooked eggs to the center and let the raw eggs run underneath. And just like the face of a clock, I'm going to go around all the way to the face of the clock. That way I'm not getting any brown eggs. Now, if you like brown eggs, that's fine. But if you can do them without browning, it's a little more artistic. It takes a little bit more skill building. Okay, so those eggs are pretty much done running, as you can see that. And now I'm just making sure they're nice and loose on the pan. We're going to flip them just like we flip our typical 2 eggs over easy. I want to make sure it's nice and loose. But here comes the fun part. After you flip it, just load it. Cheese, ham, half the mushrooms, because I want some too. And then it's fill and fold. So I'm going to bring this right over here. I'm not even going to put the pan back on the burner because the little bit of raw eggs left cooked when they hit the other side of the pan. So fold it over. And fold it over.
It's beautiful.
There's your beautiful omelet. But wait, there's more, because now we have our nice healthy farro stir fry to go with it. And there's breakfast for today, everybody. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Take care, and happy holidays.